Good morning, grade 4. Welcome back to the English class. Hope you all are doing great today. Let's discuss the exercise from the chapter Good Neighbours. We have already discussed a few exercises. We'll continue with the exercise section. So today, first we'll be discussing the vocabulary exercise. Then let's discuss the grammar section. So in the vocabulary section, it is about the use of compound words. You know what are compound words? Sometimes we use two or more words in combination to make a new word which has a new meaning. So such words are called compound words. So when you use two or more words to yield a new meaning, you call that as a compound word. So let's see some examples. Ice cream. You see the two words ice and cream are used in a combination, and ice cream means a whole different thing. See the next example, first aid. So here the two words first and aid, they are used in a combination to form a compound word called first aid. So in these two examples, you can see that the words used in each of these compound words are spelled as two separate words. Ice cream, first aid. When you use two or more words to form a compound word and the words used in it are spelled separately, you call that as an open compound word. Let's see a few more examples. You see this word snowball. Here the words snow and ball are combined. They are joined to form a single word, a new compound word. See the next word, grandmother. The words grand and mother are joined to form a new word, a single word or a compound word called grandmother. So here two words are joined without any space in between and they are spelled as a single word. Such compound words are called closed compound words. Now look at these words, long term, merry-go-round. Here two or more words are joined to form a compound word and you use hyphen in between them to join them. So such compound words are called hyphenated compound words. So here in your textbook, a small note is given regarding compound words. Make sure you go through it. So the first question in this section is, match the columns to form compound words. Here you can see a table. In column A, you can see a few words, and in column B also you can see a few words. You have to pick the right match for these words to make a compound word. For example, in the column A, the first word is milk. Can you choose a suitable word from column B so that we can make a compound word? Do you see the word man, the option B in column B? If you add that word to this, we'll get a compound word called milkman. So similarly, you have to find the suitable matches for the rest of the words given here and form new compound words. You can easily do this. So have you done that? Now let's discuss the next topic in this section. This is about phrasal verbs. All of you know what a phrase is? A phrase means two or more words in a sentence which forms a unit of the sentence. It may not give the complete idea of the sentence, but it will be a part of this sentence. And all of us know what verbs are. Verbs are action words or doing words. Verbs are words that we use to indicate some kind of action. So phrase means a group of two or more words in a sentence, and verb means an action. So what could be a phrasal verb? Phrasal verbs are phrases that indicate actions. So how do you write a phrasal verb? So usually a phrasal verb is a combination of either a verb and a preposition or a verb and an adverb. Let's see a couple of examples. You see this sentence here. He is looking for his keys. Looking for or to look for is a phrasal verb. Look for means to search. So he is looking for his keys means he is searching for his keys. Let's see one more example. She was walking across the street. So walk across is another example of a phrasal verb. So here in the first sentence, the phrasal verb looking for. This is an example of a phrasal verb which is a combination of a verb and a preposition. And in the second sentence, the phrasal verb walking across. See, across can be used both as a preposition or an adverb. So the phrasal verb walking across is an example of both a verb plus preposition and verb plus adverb. So here in this textbook, in page number 26, you can see a small note on phrasal verbs. A verb takes on different meanings when it is combined with different prepositions. This combination is called a phrasal verb. For example, pick up, walk into and put on are examples of phrasal verbs. Look at the different meanings of phrasal verbs with put. So here you can see a few phrasal verbs with put on. Put on means to wear something. Put away means to store for future use. Put out means to extinguish, like to extinguish a fire. Put off. Put off means to delay doing something. Put up means to build something such as a wall, a fence or a house. Put in means to spend a certain amount of time doing something. So these are just a few examples of phrasal verbs with put. Now in the next page, page number 27, you can see this exercise. It reads, now use the phrasal verbs that you have just learned to complete these sentences. So we have just seen a few phrasal verbs with put. You have to use the right phrasal verb here in these sentences given there. So from among these phrasal verbs, you have to choose the right one to complete each of the sentences given here. For example, the first one, the concert has been dash until next month. So if you look at the sentence, even though it is an incomplete one, you'll get an idea of what this sentence is about. So can you identify which phrasal verb with put has to be used here? We can write, the concert has been put off until the next month. And what does put off mean? Put off means to delay doing something or to postpone something. So we have a few more sentences given in the exercise. Please go through each of them and complete the sentences. Now let's move on to the grammar section. So here in the grammar section, it talks about pronouns. You know what a pronoun is? Pronouns are words that we use in place of nouns to avoid repetition of the noun. So pronouns are words that take the place of nouns. Let's see an example. I saw her. Here the word her is an example of a pronoun. You are not saying the name or the proper noun. Instead, you are using the word her to refer to some other girl. So the word her is a pronoun. Now there is one more example. I know you better than him. Here also you are not specifying who that person is. You are not using a proper noun there. Instead, you are just giving the word him to refer to someone. So that word him is an example of a pronoun. Now you see, pronouns may be of different types. Pronouns may be personal pronouns. They may be possessive pronouns or demonstrative pronouns. Let's see each of these one by one. Personal pronouns. So these are pronouns used in place of nouns used for persons. For example, I am going to the supermarket. Here I am not saying my name. I am using the word I, and the word I is used to refer to a person, to myself. So the word I is an example of a personal pronoun. Now let's see one more example. Call me when you reach. So here the word me. I am not using my name here. Instead I am using the word me to refer to myself. So me is an example of a personal pronoun. It refers to a person, right? So it is also an example of a personal pronoun. Now you see in the first sentence, I am going to the supermarket. Who is doing the action? I am doing the action. So the one who is doing the action in a sentence is called the subject of the sentence. So here I is the subject. So you can say I is an example of a subject pronoun. Now in the second sentence, call me when you reach. Here me. I am going to receive the action. I am going to receive the effect of that action. So the one who is receiving the effect of an action is called the object in the sentence. So you can say me is an example of an object pronoun. So I hope this is clear to you. Now let's do an exercise based on personal pronouns. So here in the textbook page number 27, you see this exercise. So just above that, you can see a small note about different types of pronouns. Make sure you go through it first and then come to the exercise part. So the question reads, fill in the blanks with the correct pronouns. So the question is, my name is Sam, dash am an Indian. And in the brackets, two words are given, I or me. Can you identify which is the right pronoun to be used here? Is it I or is it me? The right pronoun to be used here is the subject pronoun I. My name is Sam, I am an Indian. So just like this, in each of the questions given here, you have to identify which is the right pronoun to be used from the options given in the brackets and complete these sentences. So if you have completed that, let's move on to the next section. This is about possessive pronouns. Now you see, possessive pronouns are pronouns that we use to show something belongs to someone, to show a possession. For example, I like your snowman. It's better than mine. So here the word mine, which is a pronoun, this shows that snowman, the other snowman belongs to me. So it shows a possession there. So the word mine is an example of a possessive pronoun. Clear? Now there is an exercise based on this in page number 28. It reads, read each pair of sentences, fill in the blank in the second sentence with the correct possessive pronoun. So have a look at the questions given here. The first one is, this is my bedroom and that is her bedroom. There is a second sentence given along with it. There is a blank space. In the blank space, you have to give a suitable possessive pronoun based on the first sentence. So let's see how we can do this. This is my bedroom and that is her bedroom. This is my bedroom and that is, how can we replace her bedroom? We can write or we can use the possessive pronoun hers there, so that it becomes, this is my bedroom and that is hers. So here the possessive pronoun hers indicates that the other bedroom belongs to her, belongs to the other person. It shows that the other person possesses the other bedroom. So I hope this is clear to you now. Now complete the rest of the questions given under this exercise. So if you are clear with this, let's move on to the next section. And here this is about the use of demonstrative pronouns. You know what are demonstrative pronouns? These are pronouns used to point at things or people, like this or that or they or them. Here is an example sentence. This is my book. I am pointing to this book and saying this is my book. So the word this is used here to point to that book. So this is an example of a demonstrative pronoun. Now let's see the exercise given here based on this one. In page number 29, a question is given. Fill in the blanks with this, that, these or those. The first one is dash my tea. Can you say a suitable demonstrative pronoun to be used here? Is this my tea? That makes sense. So similar to this, complete the rest of the questions given here in the exercise. So if you are clear with it, let's move on to the next topic. This is about simple present tense. So what do you mean by tense? Tense is the form of a verb that tells us the time when something happened, or when something is happening, or when something will happen. So tense is the form of the verb that tells us the time when something happened in the past, or when something is happening in the present, or when something will happen in the future. So today we are going to discuss about the simple present tense. So as the name indicates, it is the form of the verb that tells us that something is happening right now at this very moment. something that is happening simply in the present. It is also used to describe something that is a routine or a habit or a fact. So simple present tense tells us about a habit, a routine, or it states a fact. Let's see some example sentences. Jack and Nako are neighbors. So that's a fact. You see the word are. This is the simple present tense form of the verb be. The simple present tense form of the verb be when the subject is plural. The different present tense forms of be are am, is and are. Am and is used when the subject is singular, whereas are is used when the subject is plural. So, Jack and Nako are neighbors. This is a sentence in the simple present tense. Now, there is one more sentence here. It is cold in winter. So, which is the simple present tense verb here? It is the word is. Now, let's see one more example. My father comes home in the afternoon. Did you notice? Instead of using the verb come, I wrote comes here. My father comes home in the afternoon. So this is a characteristic feature that we use in the simple present tense. I'll tell you why we added an s to the verb come here. Comes is the verb in the simple present tense form here. So there are a few things that you have to keep in mind while constructing sentences in the simple present tense. Let's see the rules now. So in simple present tense, most regular verbs use the root form of the verb, except when the subject is third person singular. See the example, I write, you write. So this is an example of a first person singular subject, whereas you write is an example of a second person singular subject. Here the word you is referring to one person. We write. This is an example of a first person plural. We means more than one, right? And you or they write. So here this is an example of second person plural. Here you means more than one person. And they also mean more than one. He or she or it writes. He, she and it. These are all examples of third person singular subjects. So with third person singular subjects, we either add s or es to the verb, to the root form of the verb. So if write is the verb used along with he, she or it becomes writes. He writes, she writes, it writes. We added the letter s to the end of the word write. Now the last example, they write. So this is an example of a third person plural subject. Now let's see a few more things to keep in mind. We add s or es to most verbs to form the present tense. Let's see some examples. Walk, walks. We added s to the root form of the verb walk to get walks, which is the simple present tense form of the verb. Scratch, scratches. Here we added es to the root verb. Do, does. Here also to the root verb do, we added the letters es. Now, for verbs that end in y, there we have to remove the y and then we have to add the suffix ies. For example, the root word study, when it is used in the simple present tense form, you are removing the y and adding ies to it so that it becomes studies. Carry, carries. Clear? Now, for verbs that end in a vowel plus y, there we have to just add s. So look at the examples given here. The word play, it ends with a vowel and a y. So we just have to add an s to the end. Play, plays. Enjoy, enjoys. So these are a few things to keep in mind while constructing sentences in the simple present tense. So I hope these are clear to you. There is a small note given in your textbook regarding simple present tense. Please go through it first and then let's move to the exercise part. Now, in the exercise part, the question is, fill in the blanks with verbs in the simple present tense. Now, here you can see a passage. The sentences are incomplete with blanks given there. And following every blank, you can see a verb is given within the bracket. Now, you have to fill up the blanks using the simple present tense form of the verbs given within the brackets. Let's see how we can do this. Every day, little Tara dash early in the morning. Within brackets, you have the verb wake. She dashed downstairs and into the garden. There you have the verb hurry given within brackets. And the passage continues. What you have to do is that wherever you see the blank, you see a verb follows within brackets. Write the simple present tense form of the verb here in the blank to fill it up. So how can we rewrite the first sentence? Every day, little Tara wakes up early in the morning. So the simple present tense form of wake is wakes. She hurries downstairs and into the garden. So the simple present tense form of hurry is hurries. Now, you have to find the simple present tense form of the remaining verbs in the brackets and complete the passage. You can use a dictionary to find the simple present tense form of a verb. If needed, you can use an online dictionary in the presence of your parents. Now, if that is clear to you, let's discuss the next exercise. This is to rewrite the sentences after correcting the errors. So, there are 8 sentences given there in the exercise. You have to read each sentence carefully, and these sentences are supposed to be in the simple present tense form. So, some sentences are given there incorrectly. You have to check whether the verbs given in the sentences are in the correct simple present tense form. If it is not, you have to correct that word and rewrite the sentence in your notebook. Let me give you an example. I goes to school every day. Here, which is the verb? Goes. So, is it the right form of the simple present tense to be used along with I? I is a first person singular subject. So, along with it, we use the root form of the verb. So, what should it be? It should be, I go to school every day. Similarly, carefully read the rest of the questions in the exercise and correct each of them and rewrite in your notebook. So, children, I hope the exercise we discussed today are clear to you. Let me remind you the homework for the day. Go through the exercise till where we discussed it, and you have to complete the exercise and submit your answers in Microsoft Teams. So that's all for today, children. In the next class, we'll discuss the rest of the exercise. Till then, bye.